I mean, the only real place where there could have been time advancement is when we were crossing the desert. It's only been 2 days of actual gameplay. It just depends how long it took us to get through that path.
One night.
So yeah, it's been 3 days.
Maybe
Okay,
4.
so it is the 25th. It is the, we'll call it the 26th of Saturnia.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're coming back. I see the stream
Okay,
is starting.
let's write this down. 26th Saturnian.
It is the 26th of Saturnia.
Hey!
Nice.
Okay, it's loading unstable. What can I do to improve? Hang on. I can't. There's one thing I can do. Where is that port? That port's on the back of the key. Hang on. Can I reach it? Maybe. Yes. Enjoy my boobs. There we go. I'm direct. Now I'm no longer Wi-Fi. I am straight onto the straight in. So yeah. Got nothing. There's nothing wrong on
Countdown
the
has
modem.
resumed.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong on the modem, so
Do I recall how so? Sorkir does give the entirety of the backstory, including that extra bit of what he gleaned from his family texts. Does it appear to be so? It appears to be stable now, though, for as far as we can tell.
But the pedestal was The dwarves built the pedestal, your ancient ancestors, right?
I. And
And it's here, not there. But why here, not anywhere? It just here, but it shouldn't be here because it wasn't here when it was here, except now it is.
Okay.
Flat 5. I don't have any bonuses. York.
4.
Okay, Wraith understands things. York doesn't.
I
This
rolled a
this is par
19.
for the
That's a
course.
24. I'm proficient in Arcana. Okay. Okay.
And the Sorcerer's College being the ideal conditions for that sort of thing to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the king dragon was able to calm it down somehow, and then the pedestal appeared once it was calm.
Yeah, I don't know why it's missing. It should be
I can
there.
see you fine, if that makes... Oh,
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. You're in here, but now your picture has disappeared in the center, so technology. Yes.
It looks like
I've
'cause
got
we
no
can see the
audio from
very
you
top
coming
left
through
corner
either.
of your image.
I've got no audio coming from you either, Jenny, right now. It's always my games. When I'm running the stream, it's the one that has the issues. There you go. Now I got you back. Talk at me.
Testing.
Got your audio. You're all set.
Okay, and I have not shown back up on the stream.
Yeah, it
Unless-
looks
You
like
will.
the video on the stream got displaced because all we can see is the top left-hand corner of Jenny's box.
Yeah.
No, it's dead center. Jenny and that's actually part of Nick's video that you're seeing right there.
Oh.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's like the blinds in his video.
Yeah. See, it's just quite frankly the shapes and lineups of everything. So
Yeah. Okay. So, does anybody know the last thing heard by stream?
no, unfortunately, with everything that's gone through.
Okay.
So you had explained that the hand had been calmed down and placed, and that's what allowed the pedestal to
appear, yes, because it was outside the hands of because the pedestal was not in the possession of a dwarf. Well, it technically was, but the hand was not in a dwarven area. If the hand had been found in a dwarven city, then even if the hand was agitated, it would have shown up. The pedestal would have shown up. But because it was not in a dwarven city, the hand had to be pacified first. That's the word I was looking for, pacified. So... we're doing a lot of rolls today. I know that.
That happens. Some
Everybody
games are like
roll
that.
Arcana. Everybody roll Arcana. If you have proficiency in Arcana, roll with proficiency. Roll with advantage.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I'm going to forego making this roll. I think Gilna has found just the absolute most inconvenient place in this room to curl up and take a nap. She's doing the nose to toes thing cats do when they turn into like a circle. She's on someone's table sitting on their notes.
Nice.
I mean, it's
I got
fine.
another 24.
Okay. Iona has gone and laid down on a table doing nose to toes, and the table has turned into a giant cat bed.
It does that. That's and adapt to the needs of the sorcerers, and the sorcerers need Yona to have a nice, comfy place to take a nap. So Yona has a nice, comfy place to take a nap.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay,
I got a
so-
flat 15.
Okay, and Sarknir?
11.
Okay, Yorick actually notices something for once.
Oh, hey. What do we
Your
notice?
Arcana finally paid off. You met beat the DC.
Okay.
Rafe and Yorick feel a buildup coming from the hand.
The hand's about to do something.
Yeah, hang on. Everyone back up. Everyone, back up. It's being weird. Just back up.
Roll insight and history.
Okay.
Or I wonder if investigation would be better. I'm not sure, but if you insight or investigation, I can't remember which.
My insight was 12 and my history was 7.
Oh, with advantage for both of those. Sorry, I forgot to say that. Because this is dwarven. This has to do with the dwarven crafts.
Okay. We'll say that first one was insight then, so 12. And then history is 21.
Insight of 19, history of 4.
Just Sorknir.
Oh, just Sorknir. Never mind then.
Because this has to do with the pedestal.
I'm like right next to it, like having explain the history of it, and then you two noted that it's about to do something weird, and so I'm guessing that my face being right in it is me noticing something here at this point.
Yeah, you beat you beat both of those. Your history well exceeded, and you beat the insight by 2.
I'm confident this is about to explode in my face.
No, you got a. Actually, roll a D100 after you roll a religion. So roll religion, then a D100.
Okay. Religion is 21.
Okay.
You're a D10. Yes. 2 on the D100.
Okay. You have gotten a divine revelation from Brock and Sindri. And it has told you exactly what is going to happen.
Oh, good. The divine have told me it's about to explode in my face.
the two both tells you it is a divine revelation, but it is also something they had forgotten themselves.
I'm helpful like that to them.
So pretty much your insight, your history, your religion, and your chance dice all combined, and the double-edged sword is if the hand has been away from what is happening right now is the hand has been away for so long that the hand is connecting back to the Illith, the great old one that it came from, and it is about to stare out from the hand.
Does Sorknir comprehend how that site will work? Like, have any concept of how that site will work? There will be a metaphysical eye, as far as I'm concerned. Okay.
Yes.
Sorknir bellows. The eye is about to open. Get out of the way. Don't be seen. And Sorknir dives out of the out of the way of the pedestal. One more time, but this time with purpose in his jumping.
Roll a little help here, athletics or acrobatics.
Surely the divinely inspired Batman by this point just gets to understand and get out of the way.
No. For how well you move.
Okay. Surely
Because
with
you're right in front of. No, you're right in front of it. That's why I'm having you roll a athletics or acrobatics. I can't remember which.
His athletics is better.
Go with that.
15.
Okay, yeah, it succeeds.
He just charges out. He just charges to the side then and he actually moves quickly enough.
You
Gets
said
himself
athletics,
going.
correct?
Athletics. Yep.
I am actually gonna have you roll a strength check also.
Okay. Nat 20.
Okay, roll a dexterity.
Seven.
You try to keep the hand closed, but all you get is so pretty much you cover the eye, but the other three fingers open.
It loves you, man. It loves you a lot.
I'm special like that.
So all that's you're able to see is like a little bit of like
Excuse me, Sorknir is special like that.
eldritch flame on either side of the fingers.
About how tall would you say this pedestal is?
It's probably that's the pedestal. It's a very short. It's a dwarven pedestal. What do you expect?
Okay,
It's like
perfect.
6 inches tall. The pedestal itself is like 6 inches tall.
Absolutely. And like on each side, is it? If it's a whole arm, is it what, like 15 inches long?
The arm, like from here up, is probably about a foot and a half.
Okay.
When the fingers are closed, it's about a foot and a half from here to here.
Sure thing. Yeah, let's lean hard into the cat instincts for this episode. I think Yolna's just gonna hop up on there and sit on it.
Did Sorknir take it off the pedestal then, or is it still on the pedestal and Sorknir is attempting to close it?
You are keeping the hand closed.
Okay,
You
so
want
I'm
to
like,
grab
so
the
I'm
hand
like,
and
so
do
I
this.
I got around the back and I'm kneeling.
Yeah,
Since
so
it's
pretty
still
much
low
what you
down,
did was you did this,
and
but you
like
missed the
attempting to
other
like
fingers.
hold it. But yeah,
Yeah,
I've only got the two.
Yeah, you missed the other three fingers, so this is literally what it looks like.
So, AKA Iolna is now laying on top of my hands. Very helpfully, I'm sure.
How the heck are you fitting on top of Sorknir's hand?
Well, as
Well,
it, like,
his arms would be kind of out like this, like holding it down, so she could easily balance anywhere.
Plus, she can shapeshift.
Are you
That's
still in
true.
leonin form, or are you in the cat form?
oh no, still Leonin. I don't have any more wild shapes left until we take a rest.
Okay, yeah. So, how is a leonin sitting on a dwarf's arm?
You just said that it was a 15-inch square pedestal. She's got front paws and back paws. She's just sitting on this pedestal. His hand just happens to be there. That's not what she's sitting on. Oh, you said there was a new eye looking out, and cat instincts. Got to show your butt to it.
The eye is in the palm of the hand that Sorkir has. The eye is on the pedestal. It's in the hand, which is like. And
That's
the
why I'm
arm is
sitting
like
on it.
this. The arm is like this.
Which my fingers are on.
So effectively, it's going like this, and it's like right in Iona's stomach.
And my hand is in the way.
So pretty much Iona. I'm not even gonna finish my thought. I'm not even gonna finish my thought because it goes really gross.
Yeah, all of Sorknir's attention is on the device. He has barely even noticed Iolna's presence.
Yeah.
We're going to take a short break because it has been an hour and a half since we started, and we'll come right back to find out what the
With
heck's
that.
going to happen
And
next.
right after the break, Rafe, you are going to roll a religion check.
We'll see how that works out for Rave.
I said just religion.
See you back in about 10 minutes.
Bye.
Hey everybody, welcome back on Gen Giggles. We're here for the second half of Artifacts of Romulus, episode 6.5, because we had a bit of a hiccup in our technology there. So we are back running. My stream notes are excellent again. I'm fairly certain that it has to do with external to my house, because nobody was doing anything in my house that should have triggered this issue. So I don't know what occurred. It's definitely with the service provider, and we'll go from there. So before break, Jenny the GM asked me for Rafe to roll a religion check. So let's see here.
With advantage, by the way.
Oh, with advantage, even though I'm not proficient. Sweet.
No, because it is your ancestral religion.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not proficient, but that gives me a dirty 20.
Yeah, well, it is your ancestral religion, something you grew up with, something you would know quite well.
Yep.
So you get proficient. You get
Advantage. Yep. So I got a dirty 20. My second roll did not change that number.
One sec. My brain is trying to figure out the right roll for the follow-up. Roll Arcana.
Arcana.
Check.
With or without advantage?
Advantage.
Okay. 18.
Okay, that works. You begin to float a couple inches off the ground when you approach. Okay, so first you approach the pedestal and hand thing. You begin to float a couple inches off the ground.
Okay.
And you have an illithid / eldritch aura surrounding you.
Okay.
And at the same time, both Sorknir and Iona are moved away by an unseen force.
Moved away from the hand?
Yes. You
Dead
both
weight
are moved.
cat versus versus invisible hand. Folding over it.
Yes. You both are moved away by an invisible force to behind Rafe. Over with Yorick. You guys are moved over next. And then, Rafe, I would like you, in character,
Uh-huh.
to say a incantation that you say and or illithid an incantation.
Okay.
So you either can equalize or use illithid. Your
Okay.
choice.
Well, since the tentacles are there in this aura type situation.
Your to do illithid, your ears are what is used.
Yeah. So, well, the connection's unstable again. By the way, we were fine for so long. What the hell is going on? Unstable. Yeah, I'm aware. It ran stable for 36 minutes, and then there's an unstable event. Why? Oh, it says audio/video configuration issues detected. Address the following to optimize your stream's viewing experience. : the stream is unstable. Please check your network connection. I am physically linked to the network. So it is outside of my house. I do not know. Oh, sometimes Twitch, you're the least helpful thing ever. All right. So the ears. During this whole time, you hear Rafe chanting away. So it's like simultaneous to it. And if you speak Sylvan,
kind of like in the show Magicians where they do the weird hand thing, somatic.
Yeah. So if you speak Sylvan, you will hear her chanting about, doing a chant. And the chant is just very, very low, but it basically sounds like a poem or an old school, like, iambic poem. Not a pentameter, not in sets of 5, but like it's like going 4 6 4 6 4 6 in iambs as she goes off on can't stop this, do this, stop that, do that, stop that, as it goes through this list of events and then starts over. Like it's like 5 things and then starts over. So there's like over.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like a old school, not Shaolin, monk exorcism or monk sealing. Pretty much.
I mean, you could get away with just doing
like a Japanese
su domine. It's just a basic chant. So
like an old school Omni-OG ceiling.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
how I picture that. What you just said.
It'd be something similar, but she's not chanting in she's not chanting in the haiku style. She's chanting in, effectively it comes across kind of like a sonnet. She's chanting in something that sounds similar to a sonnet.
Lee, you're muted. Lee is muted.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if you were saying something.
No, it's
yeah, it's similar. So you're instead of
like
having
that.
Instead of having 5 iambs, it's 4 6 4 6 is the rhythm. So you're having 8-syllable, 10. You're having 8-syllable, 12-syllable, 8-syllable, 12-syllable, 8-syllable, 12-syllable.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And while Rafe is doing that,
Okay.
the hand starts glowing the same color, and pulsation that is going around Rafe is also around the hand. And the all but so the fingers have now closed. All the fingers are closed, but the flames are coming out of from here and here now instead of from here and here. So they're like the flames are going up, like spurting out the sides. And the green, orange, and ice blue have all dimmed, like shrunk quite a bit, while the pink and red have grown. And Sorknir, roll history and arcana.
Okay. With my advantages as well.
Yes.
Okay. History is 25. And Arcana is a nat 20.
Okay. Modifier.
+6 for both. So the first one was not a nat 20. The
So
second
one was a 19, one was a 20. 20. So you had a
19 and a
26
20.
and a 25. So 25 and a 26.
Yes.
You definitely like the 19 actually. If this was an attack roll, would have critted because 19, 20 are nats for anything. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that to tell you guys that if it is a racial check, 19s and 20s are crits. So naturals, like 19s and 20s are like, so a 19 would be considered a nat 20. So
Okay.
extra effect. I forgot if is doing that. You have noticed that the orange flame, which had shrunk, had actually was starting to flicker, as if it is ready to go out.
Okay.
When you see that, you start you automatically, without personal thought, something deep inside of you wakes up, and your innate song ability activates from both halves of your lineage. So both your crystal and your stone song activate. And you start singing a song of, I'm not sure how to explain it. It's kind of not peace, but like
Healing.
balance, stability,
Like
nurturing.
returning towards that balance.
Nurturing.
Okay.
Yeah, all of those, like balance, stability, nurturing, of the earth itself. But you're also singing the story of the forges, of the fire, the earth, the stone, the metal.
The two dwarfen people like to sing in two different registers, so the fact that this is a combination song, Sorknir's voice is continuously turning from his lows to his highs as he goes in and out.
Yeah, as I said,
And it just keeps doing that modulation as he's
both of your
and it's
songs have
almost
activated at the same time.
it's almost flattening out as the balance is
Yeah, it
being
is.
achieved.
It is. Yeah. As you continue singing, the orange flame shoots up into the same height as the other two. So the pink, red, and orange flames have all shot up to the same height, or size. They're not exactly the same height because the thumb is a little lower, but same intensity. and your voice is kind of balanced. It is both. And once your voice completely balances, I want Iona and Yorick to roll perception.
Ooh, rolling hot tonight. That is another 25.
Okay.
Do not know where that dice went, so we're gonna roll a different.
Oh, and also, Yorick, you have advantage.
Yeah. Oh, I'm an advantage. Okay.
If you have advantage,
Well, that's good.
even plants that don't normally vine, they creep toward the vines creep towards you and intertwine with your body, like intertwine around your limbs, like your arms and legs. And Yorick, any water that was like in any water within a 30-foot radius of you has changed state.
Turn to ice.
No. Ice has turned to water. Water has turned to steam. Steam has turned to water and ice.
Huh.
Any kind of H2O, no matter what state it was in before, has changed its state of matter.
But it's changed upward, right? Water to
and
steam,
down.
ice to water.
And down. Steam has become both water and ice.
Okay, but only the steam's become water and ice. The water and ice both went up. I don't know if that's
ice became water.
right.
Water became both water, steam and ice.
Oh, you didn't mention that part. Water became
Sorry,
steam and ice. Steam became ice and water.
And ice. Yeah. So the only one that changed only to one state was ice. Ice became water, but water went both ways, and steam went down to water and ice.
Gotcha.
So they have all H2O in a not inside a living being. Not inside a living being. All H2O, not inside a living being, has changed state.
Huh.
And is glowing Emirian ice blue.
That is not necessarily a good. Okay.
And there is a stream of blue magic visible to everyone that can see magic streaming to you. Similar to how the vine, there are so the vines aren't actually real. The ones that are touching to Iona, they are ethereal. So ethereal vines are wrapping around Iona. You have streams of blue magic converging on you, which are causing any lines on your body to glow ice blue.
Oh, okay.
And also have caused your Emirian to revert to their base shape.
Okay, that's fair.
And Morp is now fluctuating, there's no freaking amount.
Interesting. Okay.
So, Morp is, it's like Morp has ADHD and can't decide what shape to stick to.
All right.
They turn into a shape and then almost immediately change again. They spend 2 seconds in shape and then just keep changing.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. But, moving on. Both of you have the magic. You have a blue beam shoot from you, Yorick, and Iona has Iona instinctively holds her hands out like this, and the vines pretty much go shooting off of her hands. So they're crawling up her arms and then just off the end of her hands at the statue.
Okay.
And they hit the flames, the green and ice blue flames that are on the knuckles, cause them to surge and equalize the rest of the hand, having the other two fingers get consumed by their green and ice blue colored flames, all the bones, and the two lines go down the arm.
Uh-huh. Interesting. It's pretty cool.
The second that happens, the Eldritch or Ancient One flames stop and reverse into the hand. The hand pops open. The eye is closing. It closes. You can still see the slit where the eye is, but it is closed. And the 5 colors of magic start stitching it closed with 5 stitches, one for each color.
Interesting.
Okay.
The second all 5 stitches have finished, the hand goes like this and then drops. So the arm is the hand is now like clawed but facing down. It's something I can't do with my own hand, but it's the arm of an ancient old one.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's an arm of an ancient eldritch being. So its hand is like this, but its arm is still straight up.
Like that.
But more like I can't curve my fingers properly because it causes the hand to curve up a bit. But it goes perfectly 90-degree angles, and then the fingers just go like that,
Sure.
flat.
Yeah.
They're it's like this, but the fingers are completely flat. But it's still it's like there's an extra joint in the finger that's keeping it flat.
Okay.
And the flames have now migrated to the tips of the fingers and are kind of focusing on one point in the middle. So they're creating a 5-colored ball in between the fingers.
Okay.
Right over
Interesting.
where the eyes are.
Interesting.
Yeah. A archway pops into existence on the other end of the room.
Okay.
And it activates. And out steps the Eldritch being from, I think, the second episode?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the second episode. The one that was with Emir.
Okay.
Emir's assistant.
Oh, yeah, okay. She was a very lovely female dwarf, if I recall correctly, yes?
Dwarf-looking Eldritch being.
Right, yeah, she wasn't actually a female dwarf, but she looked like one.
Yes. She chooses to identify as a female dwarf. That is just her chosen identity.
Yeah, she can pick her shape. She looks like a female dwarf. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I got the right one.
A lot of ancient Eldritch beings don't have a physical shape. Except for the one they choose.
Right, obviously, they're primordial.
Back then. I see that you have found... I see that the arm of my father has reappeared.
You're muted, Lee.
I mean, York can't say anything. He's just kind of like, okay. He'll get down on one knee after, like, half a second after, I'll be like, down on one knee. But, still kind of confused. He's like trying to process what that's supposed to mean, but he's down on one knee because this is, politeness. He goes down on one.
The portal stone, like the keystone, the one that was shaped like a diamond in the throne room, was black when the Eldritch being came out. It has now changed colors after she steps out of the way and towards you guys. It has now turned silver. and
Okay.
out steps two beings. A young woman wearing silver robes, Greek robes, or Roman robes. So a female Roman toga, and has a bow on her back, with two of the lunar direwolves flanking her, which were seen in episode 1. I think I called them lunar direwolves, but the white direwolves
Hmm.
that Iona showed interest in the first episode. Two of those are flanking the young lady. The other being that walks out is... One sec, I just have to... It is a lion-headed woman with a sun disk crown.
Okay.
And after they step out of the way, the color of the keystone changes again, and it changes to gray. Two dwarves, one blue, one tan, step out.
Okay.
It changes again, and it now has a symbol on it, along with a change in color. It looks like the colors of a beautiful dawn, and it has the symbol on Rafe's shoulder. Out of the portal steps 5 Harengon and a Fae wearing black robes. Once they step out, the portal closes and disappears.
All right.
The dwarves walk over to Sorknir. The young lady and the lion-headed lady walk over to Iona. And the Harringons and Faye walk over, the Lady Faye walk over to Rafe. And of course, the female Eldritch dwarf has walked over to Yorick. And
Okay.
they all give their varying greetings. Brock and Sindri kind of give like a standard dwarf greeting to Sorknir, who I'm guessing Iona, I'm guessing you have figured out who the two beings are.
I have a few thoughts, yeah.
One is definitely Sekhmet. Can you guess who the other one is?
I mean, yeah, it's you put the symbols on my cave in the very first episode, yeah.
Yeah, Diana. So Diana and Sekhmet have come to you. The representative of Emir has come to Yorick. Brock and Sindri have come for Sorknir, and some Haragon and one of the lead Fae have come to Rafe.
Yolna, of course, gives
It
them the
is,
traditional greeting of cats, getting way too close to their faces and sniffing.
Okay, Rafe, roll me an insight check and a history check. And while that is going on, Sorknir, how do you greet Brock and Sindri?
Did I finish with my? Did Sorknir finish with his singing then?
Oh, it is done. Like after
Okay.
all that stuff happened to the hand, the singing ended.
Okay. Sorkin with Brock and Sindri, with them being twins, one is right-handed and one is left-handed, so he gives his
But they also
traditional.
look different.
He gives his traditional greeting of shaking both dominant hands at once of the two of them,
Okay.
and so there's some good traditional dwarf glad handing.
Yeah. Rafe?
I got a dirty 20 on my insight and a 23 on my history.
Okay. The 5 Harengon are the 5 elders
Mm-hmm.
of the Harengon. So the 5 clans. Even the the 2 minor clans are there.
Mm-hmm.
So the 3 major clans and the 2 minors.
Okay.
And one of them is one of the Harengon is your mother
Of course it is.
because she is one of the elders.
Yeah. Yeah.
So both your family members that are elders are there because the fighter elder and the sorcerer elder are both there.
Yeah. Hi, Dad. Hi, Mom.
Oh no, the fighter elder is not your dad.
Oh, not my dad. No, it's
No, that's your
Grandma.
cousin. That's your cousin. That was your cousin.
Oh, it's a cousin. It's not an uncle or grandma.
No. You know that when you left home, it was your aunt, but now it is your cousin. So you are guessing either your aunt passed away or she passed the title.
Oh, hi there, Joanne. How you doing? Things are good here, yeah. Mom, welcome. Uh, Hi, Map. She turns and waves at the black cloaked individual and says, "Hi, Mab. How you doing there?"
Yeah, you can't even see I'm talking the other 3. You 3 can't see the black cloaked face because she is wearing a hood that has a veil of darkness inside, so you can't see her face, kind of thing. Like it's like a Grim Reaper's hood kind of thing, where
Yeah.
like normally you'd be able to see the skull kind of thing, but you can't. So it's kind of like one of those kinds of things. Like it's got like the veil of darkness. But from what Rafe just said, you know that this is Mab, the Raven Queen, ruler of the Unseelie Court or the Dark Fae.
I do introduce the others, but I mean, it's cousin Joanne, and there's you know there's there's Mrs. Smith, and over here we've got Mrs. Johnson and her cousin Mrs. Anderson.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we are the only ones with a French last name, and nobody knows how that happened.
Well, you do come from the baseline, like the main line.
Well, yeah, just Anderson and Johnson and Smith, and there's a bunch of there's a bunch of others out there that are all like Norwegian and Swedish in their last names, and a few that are Danish in theirs.
Yeah, but also Fae. But also, your family is the last one of the original, like the LeBeaus are the last original Harengon family. The LeBeaus and the Fighters, those are the 2 last original Harengon families. The other 3 are branch families where the main branch died out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, Iona, your reaction to seeing Sekba and Diana?
I mean, complicated. Yolna really does not necessarily want to acknowledge them on account of her whole deal with deities, but also they are coming near her, and at some point, like, instinct just wins over. So, yes, as mentioned, just very standard cat sort of, there's a new person here, gotta get entirely too close, gotta sniff them, gotta get the good scent.
Yeah. Also, something very unusual happens when Diana approaches you. Diana actually bows to you. And the lunar direwolves lay down in supplication.
Yeah. Well, not that I don't appreciate it, but what is this exactly?
You have. This is Diana speaking. You have gained my respect. You have done more in the 4 days since you started this quest than most of my supplicants have done in their lives. You have earned my respect. So I bow to you.
Interesting. Well, that's nice, but you don't need to do that. It's odd. That's a people thing.
Very well. Um, she says, if that is very well, if that is the case, and she waves her hand, and a moonbeam pops out of so a giant a big moon mirror shows up, which is pretty much just a mirror made with mother of pearl, like made completely out of mother of pearl, and then like celestial glass as the actual mirror. And at the top there is a pearl that represents the moon. A beam of light comes down from the pearl and strikes the ground next to you, and a lunar elemental appears. And um, it reaches into its central mass and goes like this. So kind of just like pulls its like central mass open, and then like so it goes like so it goes like this, and then it like kind of like turns its hand down, and a piece of its core floats out and attaches to a chain that appears made out of moon silver. And it then it it grabs the necklace and walks over to Sekhmet, who takes the necklace and reaches up into her sun headdress, plucks a wisp of sunfire out of it, blows on it, and um, a solar elemental is breathed into life, which is that, and then she breathes on the necklace, which then gains a red hue, and she attaches the core to the necklace and then hands it to you. We have given you access to each of our elementals. You must make the pact yourself, but you have been given access to making said pact. You must earn their trust yourself. Sekhmet says this. In kind of like a lioness kind of way of like survival of the fittest, you must earn their respect kind of thing.
Fascinating. I do so love a challenge.
So she hands you the necklace, and what do you do with it? Do you put it on? Do you hold it? What?
Yeah, I think just holding it for the moment. Yulna's,
Okay.
especially not when the gods are forging things directly in front of her, she's not gonna be like. I mean, she's still got that armor in her backpack. She's never once put it on. You know what I mean?
Yes, that was like this was like it's technically those aren't the actual elementals themselves.
Mhm,
Those were like the progenitor elementals. So like the first of their kinds. And that's kind of like it's kind of like how if you don't have like in certain games you don't have access to certain abilities or certain things unless you do quests first
mhm,
and gain the trust of an NPC. But then you still have to do other things to gain said abilities. You
mhm.
just unlock the ability to get the abilities.
Okay.
It's pretty much like those two pieces of core are just like um, badges that say like Pokemon. Uh, the ability to control Pokemon past a certain level up to another level.
Mhm.
So you have 3 badges. I think you can control Pokemon up to level like 70 or something. This is
Okay.
like that. It's like getting a gym badge in Pokemon. It unlocked the ability for you to make a pact with them, but it doesn't mean that you have a pact with them. It just
Makes
made it.
sense.
It's like the necklace is like a badge case. They pretty much forged a badge case for you, and these are the first 2 badges you received, kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
So it will most likely change shape depending on what you choose to do with it. Hang it on your backpack, it will turn into like a keychain. Put it on your wrist, like slip it over your wrist, becomes a bracelet. Put it around your necklace, whatever.
Okay.
That's just what you can tell, just flat out from what you know. That's just what you know. You know that this is not them giving you those elementals; they're giving you the
Yeah.
ability to make a pact.
Yeah. Sounds good.
And so they step back and go over. So they step away from you, like they give kind of like a curtsy or a bow or whatever you want to say, just kind of like a on your like have a good day kind of thing, and just walk off and go talk to Map. Uh, Brock and Sindri have been conversing with Sorknir in Dwarvish, kind of just doing a catch up and a status report and all that.
We're still shaking hands while conversing.
Yeah, that's just the way you three do things. Like you guys, while you guys are doing a status report, you just continue shaking hands. Um, then Sindri, which is the mountain dwarf, um, he take uh he reaches into like his little chest pocket and pulls out uh, a song crystal, which is kind of like it holds voice recordings, and he says, "This is from your family." And Brock does the same thing from the other side, and he holds out one, and he's got a more deep voice, like, "And this is from your family, from my side."
Sorknir
Listen to
makes
that
a
at
while
your
shaking
leisure.
hands. Sorknir makes a slight like up motion with his with the left part of his chest, and they both tuck it into a pocket that's there for him for later.
Yeah, yeah. What they do is they don't put it in the pocket. They actually, they actually hang it on the 2 points of your beard, like the two
Fit it
braids
into
you
the
have in your beard.
braids.
Yeah, like at the bottom of the braids, there's like a bead on the bottom of your braids. It kind of just like attaches to the beads. Listen to them at your leisure.
Many
How is
thanks.
the I see that the owl is not with you anymore. What happened? This gets everybody's attention.
Soiknir sees that everyone is watching and pauses for a moment, stops shaking hands, collects himself for a moment, and Robarix was required for balance. I know not where.
Every single one of the mortal coil deities, uh, their head like they all just kind of gain like this flash of recognition is probably a good way to put it, or like a flash of realization, not recognition, realization, before they go back to like a stoic look, and then Mab, on the other hand, being the fae that she is, pulls her hood down. Rafe, would you like to describe what Mab's face looks like?
That's Mab. She is gorgeous in that most ethereal, what the hell, how did you achieve that way? She pure white. Like the most alabaster porcelain skin you've ever seen in your life that is impossible for a human to achieve, or even a fae in most cases.
Probably
And
this.
it's well, it's Mab. It's hard to describe. This is my best option, right? She's very sharp cheekbones, tight, like flawless skin, and just an expression of utter serenity on her face at all times. Because if she looks like anything else, you're in trouble. Like there's a mask that's always on because whatever surprise she has never shows. She is she is the queen. I mean, what can you say?
There's a
Um,
reason she's called the Raven Queen.
um, so I mean, that's basically Map.
Okay, yeah, so she has the most mischievous smile, like above and beyond what you would normally see in a fae, like when they're about to play a trick on someone. And she titters and says, "Ah, so Photoraxian has been called to balance out the world, finally." And then she just, uh, you see a pair of imperial wings just kind of pop up on her shoulders and then disappear, and then um, she just kind of like scratches her chin a little bit, like just kind of like in thought, and then just puts her hood back up and turns back to talking to the rest of the deities. And Brock and Sindri go back to speaking in Dwarvish to Sorknir. Yorick, uh, the right hand of Emir has given you, well, it has been is conversing with you, and uh, she kind of straightens up and just kind of like squares her shoulders and kind of puts on like professional air that she doesn't normally have. You're muted.
I know. Yeah. Okay. So,
Yeah, she puts on like
Yorick, of course.
professional air, which kind of means that she's got something really important to tell you. And she says, "Emir has given me a message for you and a means of translocation to your next destination."
I see. And Yorick, by the way, has not gotten off. He is on one knee, which puts him right about her level
Yes.
because she has a rather short form. So he's kind of still down there, and some traditional greetings. And um, when she says that, he is just like blinking. Would the would such translocation take us, or would it take me away from the rest of them? And would it um, endanger our current? I'm sure you've heard of Romulus and the armor that went missing.
Yes, that is the reason why Emir has deigned to give you translocation to your next destination.
I see. That is very gracious. It was all of us, though, right?
Yes, it is all of you. Your next destination is the Pleasure City.
Ah, we had spoken of such, and then we got there was a prophecy. I don't know if you were aware of the prophecy. I was not. I doubted it, but we fulfilled it in any case. So I suppose it was us in that case.
Yes, it
And
was. And you must make haste. You only have until the end of um, Freyastan.
of course, we will make as much haste as possible. Uh, how is this translocation to take place?
Similar to the last time, through a gate.
A gate, of course. I should round up. And he kind of turns and he saw all the other deities coming, and he was kind of vaguely aware when Rafe was kind of introducing, but he's just kind of wasn't quite processing quite right. As soon as they started speaking, he's still a little overwhelmed with all of this. And he'll kind of look um, back and forth between the others. What is? Are we? Um, when are we to leave immediately?
As soon as is plausible.
Well, is now plausible? Uh, I could leave immediately if the others agree, but I wouldn't dare to speak for the others.
Uh, um, Rafe, those talking with Rafe, uh, because they're Harrigan, they have big ears, so they have really good hearing. They heard the conversation between Yorick and the elder one. Um, say they turn to you guys, to Yorick and the elder one, and say, "We are pretty much done here." Brock and Sindri each put out their hands like this for Sorknir.
And Sarknir moves to take them.
They grab his wrists and turn them over, and then poke. They each have one wrist, and so they turn his wrists like this, and they poke like right here, and each of their symbols goes on. Like the one that the arm they poked is the one where their symbol goes, and um, then they say they turn Sorknir towards the pedestal and arm, and have him open his hands and point his arms at the pedestal, and when that happens, the pedestal and arm glow along with the symbols on your wrists, and it kind of turns into motes of light and like rushes into the two marks.
Are all the flames still burning, or is that like all the flames going, like all the flames light going into the two marks?
The flames, the hand, and the pedestal.
All of it flies into my wrists?
Yes, all of it turns into motes of light.
Okay.
It turns into motes of light and then just it gets sucked into your wrist. Yeah.
Sorknir looks at them for a moment and then just tucks his gauntlets down over the symbols so that they're covered up again, and he crosses his arms and stands immobile as any dwarf can, just kind of looking like, all right, well, that's done, ready to go.
Those marks are a containment system for the more dangerous things you may come across. They must be pacified and contained before you can.
Will they be of any use if I have need to store parts of the armor?
I would not recommend storing parts of the armor alongside things like the hand. But the armor has its own, how you say, protection.
Of course.
Its way of storing itself, if need be. When it is on display, that is inactive. But when it is possessed, that ability becomes active.
I thank you as always, my patrons. And Sorknir gives him his dignified bow to them.
Yeah, they kind of go like this, opposite each other. One goes like this, the other one goes like this, and they just do that. They give you a bow, and then they both turn into statues and crumble into the ground, and so they just pretty much sink into the ground.
Sure.
With leaving no marks that they were there.
Earth to earth, Sorknir comments, and then looks away.
And Iona has already been released by her patrons. Or their patrons, my bad.
No, Yolna, she, her. I'm they, them.
My bad.
It's all good.
I get confused sometimes, like which one's which.
All right.
Yeah, so everyone is all set. You guys, I guess, group back up, and the elder one has one more piece of information for you all, and says this is one of the weapons. From what I have been able to gather from the bleed off from where they are, I guess a good word of putting it would be displayed. It is two that work in conjunction with each other. Best bet is it is most likely the daggers. Be careful with them. If it is the daggers, they have very destructive powers. And that after, like, as soon as she says that, she doesn't even give you guys a chance to answer. She just waves her hand, and you guys just get sucked into a gate and show up outside the Pleasure City, standing next to the caravan.
Oh, lovely. Excuse me. Wretch.
Did everyone else, all the retinues of deities who were like around, did they come with us or no?
No, they had already departed. Well, or should I say, they were departing as the.
Well, yeah,
other one.
the two went into the ground, and then they all okay.
Yeah,
Fair.
as the other one was talking to you guys, you could. I forgot to say this, but Mab was opening a gate for everyone else.
Okay.
Goodness, I don't know about you lot, but I've met entirely too many deities this week.
Too many, too often. Normal portal travel is fine, but this teleportation shit.
Did
As she leans back over.
So we were going to the Pleasure City, but what if that one is stolen too? We still don't know who stole the other two, except they were using daggers. Except maybe it's the Illithids, right? Wasn't that a thing?
Yes, it is possibly Illithids involved. I'm sorry. No.
Rafe, roll a Constitution check.
I really do
She's-
hope it's not them. Judging by the look of that arm, they're not very much good eating.
What'd you get?
A 19. A 19. She's physically fine. She's just not okay with, like, she's a little discombobulated.
Okay.
Teleportation magic sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, you're able to hold it in mostly. You just had the first couple regurgitations, and then you just feel nauseous.
You're just a little nauseous. Not really.
Yeah.
So it's that cross between nauseous and dizzy.
I think you all upchucked after the first gate that this happened from. I think you all upchucked. if I
Yeah,
remember
that's
correctly.
possible. But Rafe does not like teleportation worse than gates are easy. Teleportation is not. No,
This was a gate.
I was forcibly pushed into a gate.
Yeah,
by someone.
it's weird because it was a gate, but we didn't walk through. We got
Technically,
shoved
what
through.
happened was she accidentally opened it too close to you guys. You guys got Stargate activation.
Just pulled in.
Where in Stargate, when the Stargate activates a big expulsion.
Oh, the whoosh.
Yeah, so the whoosh. You guys got impacted by the whoosh.
The whoosh.
But in this case, it sucked us in rather than
Than to killing us.
Yeah, vaporizing us.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was proven that you're not vaporized; you're just transported.
No, you die.
No,
you die in Stargate universe.
In Stargate
horribly.
universe,
Instantly and horribly.
all versions. If you get whooshed, you're dead.
Yeah, that matter is gone.
I think it was in one of the movie. I think it was in the movie that actually the person didn't get killed. One of the movies, they didn't get killed. They actually got teleported to a random world.
Not from a whoosh. Definitely
Not
never
from a whoosh.
So when they were first learning to activate the Stargate,
That's another story.
That's a different thing, and it's not the whoosh that he does. He goes through the gate. It's
Yeah.
not
No,
the whoosh.
it wasn't. No, it was
The whoosh
the
murders.
guy got trapped by the guy got caught in the whoosh, and that's why he got trapped on that world.
I know what you're thinking of. It's a specific episode, and it was the way the gate was shut down, stored his information because he never rematerialized.
Oh, that one.
Whole nother big issue. We're not going into that specific episode. I know which.
All
one.
right.
I've seen it enough.
You know what
But more importantly than all of that, we got pushed or pulled or yanked into this portal,
Yeah, pretty much.
and now we're right
The gate
outside
got
Pleasure
opened too
City.
close, and you guys got
Yeah.
reported.
Yes.
For
And now we're just here, and yeah, this is
Also, when you guys left or not left, but when you guys were last outside, it was mid-afternoon.
okay.
It is early morning.
Just is it in a different time zone? Then
No, it is just south.
Talking
Pleasure
with
City is
deities
south, not west or
frequently
east.
warps time, and
Holding up his hands to to example being here now. Space.
yeah, but the question is how much time got warped and which way, and is it just one cycle of days, or could it have been 3? Do we know?
Everybody roll. I'm guessing. I'm gonna think Arcana, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
22.
Okay.
Nope.
6.
Nope. Rafe's got no clue. She's too discombobulated from this.
This isn't even like exciting to Sorknir at this point.
Yeah. Yorick. Did you lose your dice again?
You're still muted.
That's a 16.
Okay. Sorknir and Yorick have been able to figure it out. The other two have no freaking clue. It is actually it actually is 2 days later. So it was the afternoon of the 26th. It is now the morning of the 29th.
Okay.
So about 2.5 days. And that was caused by being the gate being open too close to you and you guys getting whooshed instead of walking through. You guys would have showed up immediately if you hadn't been whooshed.
Do the two of you explain this to us?
Yes.
I think it's been a few days. I think. I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure. Just
the sun has
God.
risen 2 times.
And with Sorknir is pretty much just he's used to this kind of shit.
It's just monotone. He's
He's used to this kind of stuff because it's happened to him before.
Yeah.
Back when he was traveling with Fro.
Yeah.
and Brock and Sindri have done this to him before.
But that does make our lives more difficult in the scheme of things, doesn't it? Because whoever is stealing these things has more time to get ahead of us.
Yeah, that's
I think
possible.
the Pleasure
but,
City
you know,
though was distance away from us, so I think in essence the idea is that the gods still saved us time by teleporting us here.
Oh, absolutely,
just,
but
it's
It
it
would have taken a
gods.
week to get here on carriage, by carriage, or any conveyance other than gate.
No price from the divine is free. However, we have been given an opportunity nonetheless.
And with that, Sorknir gives a self-satisfied nod and heads towards the city.
York is following, and like piecing together the others. We should, yeah. Yona, Wraith.
Yona, do a nature check.
Uh-oh. Nature is going to be a 19.
Okay. Rafe, do a survival check.
Okay, survival, huh? Okay. I mean, that's a 21.
Okay. So Iona yells. Iona spots a scorpion right as Rafe squashes it.
Oh, excuse me, I'm gonna go sit down on the carriage for a minute. You know, I just gotta sit down. With that, she doesn't hop, she climbs up onto the chair, up onto the bench, and that's that.
Wait, did the carriage come with us or no? Because we
Yeah,
got gated.
I said you guys were next to the carriage.
Yeah, Jenny noted when we teleported here that the carriage was right next to us.
Oh,
Yeah,
I did not miss that.
You guys reappeared right next to the carriage, outside
Oh.
the Pleasure City.
Huh. That's another. York is
That-
still confused.
That's just the gods.
Yeah.
It is bound to me now.
That's why it showed up with you guys. If you get a certain distance away, it just blinks to you.
I know
Like,
we're
if you
eager to
gate
see
away
the
from
city,
it-
but
If you gate away from it, then it will move to near you. The closest spot that is big enough to hold it.
I know we're eager to see this new city, but perhaps we should bed down for the night. It's been quite a day, and if, what is it, 3.5, 4.5 days by magic transport, we've certainly got a head start on where we would have anyway, so.
Sarknir, having heard that, stops almost mid-stride, turns, does his traditional playing with his beard.
That does seem wise.
I mean, no objection if you'd like to just keep barreling along, but it's been, what, 16 hours since
It's
we've
morning.
experienced 16 hours since we fought the Lizard King.
Not
It's
all of you
morning
creatures
since
have a dwarf's constitution. If you require rest, there is no shame in that.
just remember.
2.5 days.
Um,
not a day,
Just
not a half day.
remember that this place here, it doesn't open until afternoon anyway. So I'm with Yolna. I'm gonna take a nap while you guys get us checked in through the gates.
I would say we should go in first.
Rafe is out cold.
We can
on
begin
the
resting
bench.
and have the carriage keep going. The carriage is self-driving. If we tell the carriage to take us to the gate, we're good. We are okay to do that as a strategy as well.
That is a strategy, I suppose.
As soon as that option is voiced by Sorknir, Rafe gets pulled into the carriage along with
She's out cold.
and everyone else just like kind of like a doorway opens on the outside of the carriage that is kind of like has your symbol on it.
Okay. I suppose we go into the carriage.
So you guys enter your doors?
Yeah.
Yeah, right before you guys enter the carriage, you see on the bench is a dryad.
Huh.
Holding the reins.
Uh-huh.
Does it seem to be the same energy as the carriage, or is this something new?
Oh yeah, no, it's an Yggdrasian dryad.
Oh. Okay.
So as I said, this carriage was sung from an Yggdrasian sapling.
Oh, right. All right.
So a sapling of Yggdrasil.
Okay.
It was sung by elves from an Yggdrasil sapling.
Ah.
This is the spirit of the carriage taken physical form.
Cool. Sorta.
So
Yolna's just not gonna go in the carriage. She's just gonna sleep on top, isn't she?
Every time.
Well, it's like the dryad does turn to you, like the three of you that are still outside the carriage, because Rafe passed out in the driver's seat. But the three of you that are outside the carriage, she turns to you and in a very pleasant voice says, "You all go get rest in your rooms, which is where the doors with your symbols go. I will get us through the gate and park somewhere inside the gates until you guys are ready to continue."
Sorknir also pauses and stares at this, as this is entirely too straightforward for anything divine base. It just gives it a real squint eye before.
Well, this is also a carriage that was sung by elves.
He comes around to it. He just stares at it for a good couple of minutes after seeing Iolna's cautiousness as well, and hearing this uncharacteristically helpful thing. Like, since it still emanates with the same energy, he comes to trust it and goes inside. But this was a giant red flag of do not trust this creature alarm as far as his experience goes. So
You have
okay.
met the
He
Dryad
took an
before,
extra couple of
Sorknir.
minutes to. Oh, we have seen it before. Okay.
You have.
Oh, Sorknir
Because
has.
remember, this was Fro's carriage for the longest time.
Okay. I had forgotten that Sorknir would have had experience traveling with it. Okay.
Sorknir and Fro have traveled in this carriage before.
He's tired. It took him a minute to remember.
Yeah, it just took you a minute to recollect.
And then that's when he finally finishes squinting. Yes, the autopilots. And he walks in.
York kind of is like, as soon as Sorknir and I just York will go in after a minute, just like okay, and then come, kind of leave and check on all of the skeletal creatures. Just make sure that they're all safe and sound. This is important. You don't believe you're. We have a whole menagerie of very nice skeletal creatures.
Oh yeah, you have the graveyard menagerie and you have the regular menagerie in that carriage.
Yes, and we got to make sure that they're all okay. And then
there's the hatchery too.
Yes, which we hatched Harry out of, and then is no more. Right? We haven't hatched anyone else since then.
There are still the eggs.
They haven't hatched.
They haven't hatched. They
Okay.
were the ones that were a little smaller. They were not the Tarask egg, they were the other ones.
Backspeak eggs that let you get, some nice big omelets.
Yeah.
It's just a giant omelet. The size of a nice table. You could fit like 4 people around. That big of an omelet. Yeah.
Those eggs are eggs. We could, but we don't need omelets right now. Let's
So when you guys when Yorick goes into his room, your room is pretty much like a room in Jotunheimer.
Oh.
So like it's like the inside of a building from Jotunheimer. If Iona decides to go into the carriage, it will look her room will look like her cave.
Yeah, that's just not. Imagine her posted up on top of the carriage, all stretched out within that sort of. She's doing the pose that cats do when they're trying to pretend to be casual, but the tail is thrashing. It's very obvious they're trying to decide whether to pounce on something.
All the rooms are kind of tailored to your tastes. Sorknir's room kind of looks like his room back home in the home country. And his room, it's a mix of his home country room and his room at the Artificers hangout.
It's like a studio apartment with a stone bed and a forge.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, Yorick is kind of like taken aback by like, oh, and like is almost like a little homesick because he does miss this is. He went out to like have a few days in the big city, and he's been out camping. Campaigns are long, and it's used to it, but it's still, it's an odd thing to suddenly be home but not be home, and he spent time away from home before, but this is weirdly nostalgic for him. But then he's gonna focus. go check on everyone else, and then pop up and check on Yona to see if she's okay, hanging out there, and then, yeah, that's
Just
York's. Is
reaching out very slowly, as if she's about to bap the back of the druid or the dryad's head.
Yeah, Yona, York is gonna. York.
As you are reaching out, a Leonin-sized cat toy, like one of those things with the bat balls, pops up next to you.
Oh, well, yeah, we better kick that to death real quick.
It's pretty much just like, it's kind of a peace offering between you and the carriage, because the carriage has done some stuff. So I'm pretty sure you're the one that got ejector seated.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, it's a peace offering between the Dryad and you. And if Rafe was awake, they would see that their room is rather unusual for a Harengon.
Maybe someday.
She'll see it when she wakes up.
Well, she'll see it when she wakes up. But we are
Yeah,
after 5. It is time for us to be done.
Yeah.
So we are, if you'd like to stick around for a minute, we're going to send you over to Sunflare's space. Sunny is one of our friends through Meoster, through the Gender Federation, and helped us with the trans holiday special. So we're going to raid you over to join them here in just a moment.
Cool beans.
Bye-bye, everybody. We love you.
Take
Bye
care.
bye. Did we do the thing?
Give it a moment.